Good morning. I am Ryan Clifton Bowling. Before I even get started on this video, I want to first start off with an apology to a friend of mine. And if you're watching this video, I want you to know I apologize. I misquoted. I had gotten you mixed up with someone else in the last video in reference to whether or not Donald Trump is going to run again in 2024. And I misquoted, and that was my mistake. That was my fault. And I want to say I apologize publicly for that. I hope that we can go forward from here. So I just want to let you know that, my brother. But now, let's get right into it, folks. Let me adjust my collar here. I ran into something that was pretty disturbing to me. In fact, so disturbing that it made me angry. This was from a fellow YouTuber who I have not subscribed to his channel, but I every now and then watch him. He's a Christian brother, and every now and then I watch him and listen to some of his videos. And he actually read this tweet that apparently President Joe Biden had made a statement about those who are unvaccinated. And according to this tweet, it was a very ominous, dark prediction, if you will, of those who are not vaccinated. And it really disturbed me. So I'm going to read a portion of a trending article from Trending Politics, and then I'm going to let you guys, if you haven't heard, I'm going to let you guys listen to the words that President Joe Biden have said. Actually, it's on his tweet. It's only like a few seconds. And then I'm going to give you my opinion on this. And the opinion that I give, I'm going to actually literally read a quote from a book that I purchased some years ago, because I want you guys to really get this quote. I really want you to absorb this, because this is very, very disturbing to me. And one of the reasons why it's disturbing to me is because if in fact President Biden said these words, and I believe he did, okay, because I'm going to let you guys listen to this. It shows the apathy of the people. And what I mean by that is this man can get on here and say this type of stuff, this frightening, dark type of stuff, and everybody walk around like it's no big deal. Well, no big deal. He's the president. We take his words for granted. He's the great prophet of the world, and nobody seems to care. I guarantee you, when I go to work, nobody's going to seem to care. So I'm going to read this portion of the article. I'm going to let you listen to the tweet, and then I'm going to give my comments on it. And I'm going to read you an excerpt from an individual person who understands mind control. And I'm going to show you what I personally believe is a connection. Okay. So let's go right into this, folks. The title of the article is Dr. Death. Fauci agrees with Biden's prediction of deadly winter for unvaccinated. The president is correct. This is what Fauci said, evidently, that the president is correct. It says, last week, President Joe Biden gave a dire warning for all unvaccinated Americans, stating that they are, quote, looking at a winter of severe illness and death if you are unvaccinated. For themselves, their family, and the hospitals, they'll soon overwhelm. Unbelievable. And here is a tweet. Now, let me let you listen to this. Evidently, this is posted 9:30 a.m., December the 20th.
For unvaccinated, we are looking at a winter of severe illness and death for unvaccinated. For themselves, their families, and the hospitals, they'll soon overwhelm.
Let me read further. You heard that. During Sunday's interview with CNN's Jake Tapper, Dr. Anthony Fauci tried to tell Americans where the COVID situation is headed. Near the end, Fauci was asked about the president's ominous warning for the unvaccinated. After positioning his answer a bit, Fauci agreed with President Biden's prediction, telling Tapper that, quote, the president is correct. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to go no further than that. You've heard that, and you've heard that, and I've read that. Now, doesn't this disturb you? Number one, before I even read the quote of this mind control expert from this book that I purchased some years ago. What's interesting to me about these words, these ominous words that President Joe Biden gave, is the fact that right now, and this is not a conspiracy theory, right now, you have people all over the country who have been vaccinated. Now listen, let me say, before I even go into that, I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm not anti-vaccine. If people want to get the vaccine, that's on them. If they don't want to get the vaccine, that's on them. Me personally, I don't want to get the vaccine because I don't feel I need the vaccine. I think I've been doing okay since this virus started. And I get, and just recently, not too long ago, I ended up getting sick. But I get this, and it was a stomach flu, but I get the stomach flu every year. This is years before this stupid COVID-19 stuff started going around. So nobody can say, well, if you had got vaccinated, no, that has nothing to do with it. I've been getting that sickness. I get that sickness every year. So what are you talking about? I personally don't want to get it because I don't feel I need to. If I have to, if my job requires that I have to, then I have no other alternative. It's not like I have a business on the side that I'm making money. If I did have a business on the side where I'm making money as much as I am now or more, then I'd be like, forget it. I'm not getting it because I don't need it. And I don't like people trying to force me to get something that I don't want to get. But that's a whole nother story. So I'm not anti-vaccine. You want to get it, you want to get it. If you don't want to get it, you don't want to get it. What I'm tripping on is, one of the things I'm tripping on is not just the idea of mandating the vaccine, but also the idea that there are people all over the country who have been vaccinated, sometimes double vaccinated, and from what I'm hearing, triple vaccinated, have gotten the booster shots, and they're still getting the virus. I'm hearing that there are sports teams, basketball and football, correct me in the comment box below if you need to, but I'm hearing from references and sources that right now, basketball teams and NBA and NFL are canceling or postponing games because a lot of the people on their teams are getting the virus. But here's the crazy thing about it. All these people that are getting the virus have already been vaccinated. Some vaccinated twice, have gotten the boosters, and yet they're still getting the virus. Very, very interesting. Because now, very, very interesting, and the reason why this is very, very interesting and crazy is because Joe Biden predicted death and destruction to those who are unvaccinated. Huh? What's going on, Raggy? I mean, come on, man. It seems like to me, let's use a little bit of thinking here. It seems like to me there are more people who have gotten the vaccine that's getting the virus than there are people who are who don't have the vaccine that's getting the virus. I'm pretty sure people who don't have the vaccine are getting the virus. But every time I turn around, it's people that have been vaccinated, double vaccinated, triple vaccinated, quadruple vaccinated, 10 times vaccinated. I'm being funny, but you get my point. So what's going on here? Why such the push? Why the fear mongering? But that's not what I'm going to get at here. What I want to get at too is the other aspect. And that's the aspect, as I said earlier in the introduction of this video, how apathetic millions of Americans seem to be. I'm pretty sure that they've heard President Joe Biden say this, and they just going about their business. No big deal. Never mind the fact that people who've been vaccinated, they still getting it. They dogged out Kyrie Irving, who didn't want to get the vaccine, put him down, disrespected him. And now from what I'm hearing, the team wants to try to get him back because everybody, a lot of the people on their team is getting the virus. I don't know if it's a COVID virus or it's a Delta variant or the Omicron or the Optimus Prime, as my boss said, the Optimus Prime. That's what it sounds like, Omicron, Optimus Prime, like a freaking transformer. What the heck, man? I don't know which one of those variants it is, but the fact is that they're getting this virus, and now they're trying to call Kyrie Irving back because they're losing out. Oh, wait a minute. You disrespected and dogged everybody who didn't get the vaccine. You dogged and disrespected, and all of a sudden, people who got the vaccine are getting the virus. This is not my opinion. This is fact. When it comes to an opinion, I say opinion. These are facts. These are facts. But now all of a sudden you want to bring back those that are not vaccinated. You want to bring them back all of a sudden. No, man, no. No. I'll be like, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. But once again, what I want to deal with is the apathetic, non-feeling attitude or non-thinking attitude of the people. Now, this very people in general in America, not everybody, but a vast majority of them that listen to the mainstream media. Now, this is disturbing to me because some years ago, I had purchased this book back in 2015, 2016. I purchased this book, and the name of the book is Mass Awakening. It's written by Paul McGuire, who was a pastor and a Bible prophecy expert. Been writing. He wrote over 30-something books. He deals with Bible prophecy and world events from a biblical perspective. And as I read this book, there's some extremely frightening information in the book, and it's documented. He actually writes down the quotes of these individual people. Now, you say, what does that got to do with the masses of people today? Remember what I said earlier, that people have this unthinking attitude today. They're just going about, these leaders, like what Biden said, people just going about their business, and they don't think about anything he just said. They're just going about their business, go to their job, do. They don't think about the ominous things he just said that actually is a contradiction. Could it be that these people are under some kind of trance state or something? I said this in a previous video some months ago, and I read the same quote, but I'm going to read it again because maybe people didn't get it. So I'm going to read the quote from a man by the name of Aldous Huxley. Now, according to Paul McGuire's research, Aldous Huxley was a Fabian socialist. And a Fabian socialist is a socialist who believes in bringing in communism in a country through evolution rather than violence. He also, Aldous Huxley, whom Paul McGuire mentions in his book, he stated he was also an expert in mind control, but not individual mind control, but mass mind control, putting people in a mind control state on a mass level through entertainment and education and all of these other institutions and avenues in order to brainwash the masses of people to dumb them down. Now, I want to read this quote, and then you think about the way people are today in general and see if you can see the connection. Now, evidently, Aldous Huxley said these words in a lecture he was given in 1962, March 20th, 1962, at the University of Berkeley. The title of this lecture is The Ultimate Revolution. And here is his words. And actually, by the way, he was saying he was giving this lecture to a group of scientists and neuropsychiatrists. Get that now, scientists and neuropsychiatrists. What is a neuropsychiatrist? They deal with the brain. What are the neurons? The neurons are the cells that give and receive information in our brain. Interesting, right? Information here. And this is supposedly these are the words supposedly of Aldous Huxley. I'm pretty sure maybe I shouldn't say supposedly, but he's actually writing down the words of this individual. It says, there will be in the next generation or so a pharmacological method, pharmacological meaning drugs, a pharmacological method of making people love their servitude or love their slavery and producing dictatorship without tears, so to speak, producing a kind of painless concentration camp for entire societies so that people will in fact have their liberties taken away from them, but will rather enjoy it because they will be distracted from any desire to rebel, get this now, by propaganda or brainwashing enhanced by pharmacological methods. And this seems to be the final revolution. Now, those were the words of Aldous Huxley back in 1962 when he was giving a speech at a university to a group of scientists and neuropsychiatrists. Now, based on these words, among dozens of other quotes from people who believe the same thing about mass mind control, it sounds very, very ominous to me that the way people are today, when you have people like Joe Biden making statements, not just Joe Biden, but others have done it, But you have people like Joe Biden making ominous, horrible statements like this and predictions like this upon unvaccinated people, that the masses of people go about their business, don't talk about it, don't think about it, no big deal. This man can get up and say, okay, or anybody get up and say, you know what? I want everyone to accept the mark in their right hand and the mark in their forehead. And if you don't get this mark, you can't buy anything and you can't sell anything. Oh, no big deal. Okay, yeah, sure, sir, no problem. That to me is very frightening. It's very frightening. And that's the point that I wanted to make in this video. Is the apathy and unthinking mindset of millions of Americans in this country. When someone can say something like this and get away with it. If Trump had said anything even remotely like this, they literally would have stormed the White House. All these socialists, communist supporters would have stormed the White House without anybody's effort to stop them, physically stormed the White House, grabbed Trump, took him outside and hung him. Literally. Y'all know I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. All hell would have broke loose. But let somebody who supports this global idea, let someone who's a puppet by those who are behind the scenes say something like this, no big deal. Keep everybody under a mind control state. Keep them asleep. So this leads to the question, how do you wake people up out of this? How do you get people to think of it? I said this in a previous video. I believe that the way you wake people up, you simply get them to think. You ask them questions. Did you hear what he just said? What do you think about this? Now, I mentioned earlier in the video, one of the things that's disturbing about this prediction that he gives, this horrible prediction that he gives, is the fact that people that have been vaccinated are getting the virus. So why would you say that about the unvaccinated? The problem isn't the unvaccinated. Come on, man. Seems like when you get the vaccine, it seems like you're more apt to get it. In my opinion, you seem to be more apt to get the virus rather than not having the vaccine. Because it could be that the people that don't have the vaccine have built a natural immunity over it. I'm just saying. So I wanted to mention that in this video and bring that out. This is very disturbing to me. And I think that a lot of people, based on my studies and reading down through the years, have fallen under a mass mind control state where they're not thinking. Now, this obviously doesn't include everybody, but it seems like to me that people have fallen into what Aldous Huxley have said here in this book, in his quotes, decades ago, that people are in some kind of a mass mind control. Because mention what he said, pharmacological method, pharmacological meaning drugs. What's going on right now with all these drugs? You got fentanyl. You got, what's the other one? There's another one. You got fentanyl, which is extremely potent, messing people up. You got heroin. I think that's back on the market, if you will. And then there's another one. I cannot remember the name of it, but it causes people to just strip down naked. You know, just these drugs dumb people down. It kills their senses. So they're not thinking. When you high on drugs or high on liquor or anything, you're not thinking. You just feeling. And could it be what he's saying here in this decades ago have something to do with what's going on right now? In my opinion, I believe it is. So that when people like Biden says what he says and other politicians and communists and Marxist supporters say what they say, people don't think about it. They just let it pass on because they've been dumbed down by all these drugs and liquor and stuff that they consuming in their bodies. They're not able to think clearly. But I just wanted to give my view on that. What do you guys think about what Biden said? Forget about Fauci. Fauci is a joke to me. I ain't even saying anything about him. What do you guys think about what Biden just said? Do you really agree that those are unvaccinated are going to really, really get sick? And oh my God, they're going to fill up the hospitals and all of this. Do you really believe that? What do you think about this? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you all and see you again.